You may be surprised to discover that today people over 55 years old are the fastest growing group of new business owners in the U.S. And over 52% of all small businesses in the United States are owned by someone over age 50. Why is this happening? Well, one big reason is that 3 out of 4 people over age 55 tell surveyors that they want to keep working well into their 60s. But due to massive downsizing in the corporate world, forced early retirements, and just the regular retirements of people approaching 60, there's less and less chance that those of us over age 60 are going to be able to continue working in a corporate job. So starting and running one's own business or some other entrepreneurial opportunity makes for a very attractive alternative. There are many business opportunities around you, but you need to be very clear on what you want and don't want when selecting a retirement business. You're going to be investing a good amount of time and some money in whatever business you choose. And after being under a lot of stress in the corporate world for 25 or 30 years, the last thing you want is a business that's not fulfilling. So we strongly urge that you start with something you truly love doing and see if you can develop it into a money-making business. Let's take a look at 6 tips that will help assure that you find just the right retirement business before you start to invest your time and money. Key number 1, look for a business whose work will truly engage you. It's key here that you start with a work activity that you really enjoy doing or a passion that you've had in life for quite a long time, and to build a business around something you enjoy doing every day. This way you really won't feel like you're working. Key number 2, you need to understand the financial risks and rewards of the potential business that you're looking at. You particularly need to be realistic about what kind of personal financial return you need to achieve during the first year in business. And you need to then balance that against how much money you have to invest in the business in order to make that kind of return. And thirdly, you need to take a look at what kind of income you can make if you work part-time versus full-time. Key number 3, you need to understand the physical demands of the business. While as a generation, we older boomers are in better physical shape than probably any generation before us, we still have some limitations. I know sometimes my back bothers me a bit when I work too hard physically. So you need to be very aware of what the physical demands are. For example, if you have arthritis developing in your knees, you may not want a business where you have to be on your feet 8 hours a day. Key number 4, you need to think about the flow of day-to-day work and the kind of business that you're considering. If you really prefer doing work by yourself away from people, that's great, but you need to make sure that your kind of business adapts itself to that. On the other hand, if you're the kind of person who likes to be out and around, having lunch with your friends, going to Chamber of Commerce meetings, you can accommodate that too in the business you choose. You just need to be aware of that before you go too far in your selection. Key number 5, you need to think about how you feel about technology. Now, many of us in our late 50s and early 60s have some familiarity with the internet and certainly use email regularly. We also probably know how to type a letter in Microsoft Word and perhaps know how to copy documents from the internet. But some businesses require technology way beyond that. For example, the Ultimate Boomer Business Startup School requires that I have pretty advanced knowledge on how to use computer software, online services, social media, and other evolving technologies. I find it's very satisfying to learn something new all the time. Other people are a little bit burnt out and don't really want to do that. So you need to think about what's the impact of technology on the business. Key number 6, if you're considering buying a franchise, you particularly need to understand the costs and demands. The number 1 demand is that you do things the way the franchise company tells you to do them. And for a lot of people, this works perfectly fine because what they really want to do is to create a new job for themselves which they can manage and make a decent living at. That's fine. On the other hand, if you are a tried and true entrepreneur like I am, you probably won't do well in a franchise, because you will start to question and doubt and disagree about things you're being told to do, and the franchisor has all the power in this relationship. And also, you need to really think about the money. Many franchises that are available out there are going to cost you $100,000 the first year. That's a lot of money. That if you lose the franchise, it can lead you into bankruptcy if you're not careful. So you need to really understand carefully what's going to cost me to get in and run the business for a year, what kind of salary can I make, and what are my day-to-day requirements in running this business.